Hello the internet! It is Saturday the 2nd of October 2021 and welcome back to the channel. I know, it's a little earlier than the scheduled time start of the stream. We bumped it early simply because it is on out there right now and I need to be surfing. Ideally I need to be out there right now, but the longer I push it back, the further the tide goes out. So technically the better it's going to get in some ways, but then the wind picks up. So I came forward early in the scheduled time. I realized that would mean no one will be here, but that's okay because no one's here on my YouTube streams anyway. So this is not unusual for me to be streaming to pretty much nobody, but that's cool. I'm here to report good news. My results back from the ultrasound. I'm going to be having a baby boy. A baby boy. Hey, wow, there's a delay on the GoPro. Hello, delay. Hello, delay. Oh, that's weird. I'm looking at you and then I'm not looking at you. That's weird. Either way, by the way, other note, smaller. Oh, okay, so that did that. It didn't actually take it off. Okay, hello. That's weird. Let me get rid of that then. Yeah, okay, cool. So the other news is, technically speaking, I have entered or encountered a strange tech issue. I'm narrowing. So for those that don't watch my DLive content, fine, fair enough, no worries. Last two streams I've done, all of a sudden my monitors have just gone off. Now, when I say gone off, they've just gone blank. And they flicker back to life, and then they flicker back off. Now, unfortunately, when that happens, it also ruins my audio interface, and sometimes it ruins OBS, like it quits OBS sometimes. Trying to narrow down what that would be, I first of all thought it was this goes into depth, but I won't go too detailed, but my Thunderbolt RAID, so everything is Thunderbolt, right? But HDMI sometimes. And so Thunderbolt comes out from my 4 terabyte RAID arrays in daisy chains, and then you can go from that to Thunderbolt to HDMI, blah, 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 blah. I thought it was those guys getting covered in dust and needing to be cleaned. So I took them all apart, vacuumed them all last night, put it all back together, went ahead and did another DLive stream, did a little crypto stream, which was necessary. And it happened in that stream once, not like multiple times. So I don't think that was the issue, but I think I'm now thinking I've got the CalDigit. I got this thing. Let me show you what I got here. The CalDigit TS3. Let me go over here. CalDigit TS3. I got one of these. So I got one of these boxes. It's powered by its own power supply, and it does have the ability to plug in a. Where is it here? You can't see the back. Where's the back? Yeah, it's got a display port on the back, not an HDMI port. So I've always gone display port via a connector to HDMI. Now I think I need to go direct display port, because when I felt that last night, it was extremely hot. Like that connecting port was too hot to touch. Like quite literally, I couldn't hold my finger on it. It was, if I had held my fingers on the adapter, not the port, on the adapter, it would have burnt my fingers. Not lying, like actually burnt. So I think it's overheating at that point. So I'm gonna buy a DisplayPort cable. Why go? My monitor has a DisplayPort in and an HDMI in. Why am I trying to go DisplayPort dongle HDMI? Just go straight display all the way out. And I think maybe we'll see. Yo, Chad in the chat. G'day, Chad. Hey, Gibbs. How you doing, man? Good morning. So this stream will be a relatively quick one. It's just you and me, Chadsky. I just wanted to come on here a little earlier and give you the results here of my ultrasound, so that this goes on record, I suppose, and we can then reference it back later, and also so I can get out and go surfing because it's firing right now. By the way, a waiver day began yesterday. First video is up already on YouTube. So of the results here, there are a few things. Basically I went and got, so for those that don't know the story, I have a issue which keeps me up at night, and it is taken many slashes. So I'll go to bed at say 10 p.m. and then sometimes even before midnight I'll have to take my first pee. Then later again at like 2 or 3 a.m. there'll be another pee. Then there'll be another one maybe at 6. If not, I'll go all the way through till 7 when I wake up. Then I'm lucky I've only got up twice. On other times it's gone 4 times in the night, and if I've been boozing, it's forget about it. The nighttime sleep is interrupted so many times you might as well not go to bed. That's different though if you're inhaling alcohol. So I always thought, or always wondered, or was fearful that I may have prostate cancer. There's a history of this in my family, and that was my big fear, prostate cancer. So I went and got checked. I'll check the newest wave a day. Yeah, catch it after. Yeah, cool, man. Thanks, Jade. Thanks for not doing it now. Cool, man. Appreciate you. So I went and got checked for that, and the results. This is about a year ago. Blood test, urine test, clear. No. I was gonna say skin cancer. No prostate cancer. So that's good, right? That was good. That gave me, comfort. So then I just kept going on as I would normally. But then I thought, well, hang on a second. There is something wrong, right? There is something going on here. So about a year later, maybe not a year, maybe 10 months later, I went back and said to my doctor, there's definitely something. Okay, it's not prostate cancer. There's something. I'd already done my research, and to me, it felt like I have an enlarged prostate. So prostate is this gland. It surrounds it sits under the bladder, and your urethra Franklin goes right through the center of it. And that's the thing that your pee travels down and then through your pecker and out into the great open world. That's its entrance to the world. The urethra Franklin. Give it some RESPECT. And so when your prostate is enlarged, when it's enlarged by the first way, which is by cancer, this is terrible. Typically that's the outside of the prostate. And that's why the doctor can shove their finger up your anus and feel. They actually feel the prostate and feel for that that hard shell. But if you have just an enlarged prostate, which is not related to cancer, typically it's on the inside of the gland of the prostate, and it's pushing against your urethra Franklin, showing her no respect. And at that point, when it pushes together, it stops the flow of urine. So you often get what they call, this is a great scientific term or a doctored term, you often get this thing called post-void retention. Think about it, post-void retention. So after the fact that you've pissed, you're retaining some. So it just means you didn't get rid of it all. So that's what I thought was going on with me. My urethra Franklin has been squashed by my prostate, and I'm having to pee multiple times, even though it feels like I'm done. So we went back and we got another set of blood tests and another set of urine samples just to clarify, make sure in the last 10 months, old mate, cancer hasn't popped up in the time being. It hadn't. So all of those things are clear. So that's the first 4 sheets, I guess. They're all clear. But then we went and got the ultrasound. So the ultrasound is how they can tell whether your kidneys are working, whether the bowel, your bladder is filling and voiding correctly, all that kind of stuff, right? And by the way, Mindy's not here right now, but Mindy, if you are watching this as a replay, your information was solid, like really solid. I appreciate it. Mindy is a ultrasound technologist in the States. She said if you came to me, I could diagnose you like this. But of course, not only is there COVID these days, but from here to the States is a fairly long trip and a fairly costly trip when I could go and do this for free at my local urologist. No, my local ultrasoundist. So I did. So they did what they call a ultrasound. Now there's a name for it. When your bladder's full, they said, so you're scheduled for 11:30. At 10:30, you got to drink an entire liter of water and hold it. Now I know drinking a liter of water, within 20 minutes, I'll be absolutely caning for a slash if I do that. So no shit. I drank it at 10:30. Went in, waited in the surgery, in the waiting room. I said to them, dudes, I am absolutely dying for a piss right now. Like I'm probably going to wet myself, right? It's that bad. It's bad. And they said, okay, come in. So they brought me in a little earlier. They did the first ultrasound. Sweet. They said, okay, now go to the bathroom, relieve yourself. So I went in, and when I'm desperate for a piss like that, often, and this could be a symptom, often it takes a long time to start, right? So you're okay. You can go, and no one wants to go. It's like you wanted to go. You're at the pool. The kids won't swim. That's the different analogy. That's not a number 2. I'm talking about number 1. They won't even touch the water. These guys. So what happened was I told the doctor that, and I said, so I did slash. Then I went back in for the second ultrasound. They want to do one after you've voided, after you've slashed. And I told her, I said, oh, look, it took a long time to start. And to be frank, if I push down on it, I could go again now. And she's like, okay, cool. She's like, just remember, I'm not the surgeon. I'm just the dude operating the machine. I'm like, okay, I just wanted to tell you. I just feel like it's important to talk to these yahoos. So she did the second ultrasound, and I said, look, I got to go again. Like, can I go again? And she said, yeah, go again. So I went for a second slash, and this took a long time because I don't know if it was her pushing around down there, poking and doing the kidneys and stuff, but unseasonally, I had to take a crap as well. Normally it's 1 poo a day for me, and it happens here in the morning, and that's it. And I'd already done that one 7 o'clock that morning, and then at 10:30 or nearly 11:30, I needed to poo again. So I took the slash, took the poop, cleaned up, washed my hands, COVID style. No one tells you to do that anymore. 20 seconds washing. Used the sanitizer in the hallway as well. Came back out, not in the hallway, in the bathroom. Came back out, did the third ultrasound. Then I'm done, right? And so the results of those 3 ultrasounds are here right now. The clinical information: nocturnal urgency. Is there any prostate enlargement? This is the my GP's recommendations to check for. Findings: both kidneys are normal in size, measuring 11.8 centimeters in bipolar length on the right and 11.9 on the left. Both kidneys demonstrate normal parenchymal, love a good parenchymal, normal parenchymal thickness and cortical echogenicity. That word for his age, that being 46. So far so good. There is a single 18 mil simple cortical cyst on the lower third of the right kidney. This guy. So I asked my doctor about that. He said, this is nothing to worry about. This is quite common. Don't worry about it. No other solid or cystic renal lesions are seen. There is no there is no hydronphosis. There is no hydronphus. Hydronphus? There's a hydronphus flying above. Chatsky. Hey, operational kidneys. First good news means you still get to do JD reviews. Bingo, bango. Right on. Right on, Chatsky. Thank you, man. Yeah, that's true. So whatever that word is, there is no hydronphonous or renal calculi. So I'm never good at math anyway. Calculations and crap, there isn't any of those anyway, so we're good. No calculi. Next paragraph, of which there's only 3 paragraphs, by the way, in case you're wondering how long am I going to read this crap for. The premicturition. Yo, g'day, Mick. You coming over to give me the tuition? Mictuition. The pre-mictuition bladder volume. So in regular layman's terms, how much can your bladder hold, mate? The pre-mictuition bladder volume is 430 mil. So for you Yankees playing, of which Mindy I know, but no, you use mils in the surgeries, don't you? Half a litre, less than half a litre. So, hydronphus, that's the word. The swelling of a kidney due to the buildup of urine, according to Google. Oh, wow. So, there's none of that. That's good. Thank you, Chad. Thanks for doing that, man. I didn't even think to search these words up. I'm genuine. I haven't looked at these words. I just saw that it said there's none of that. So if there's none of it, that's good. Well, I was hoping. Maybe that was bad. Who knows? So the bladder can hold 430 mil. The bladder wall is trabculated. Trabculated. Trabeculated. Trabculated. Put that in a sentence. Okay. The bladder wall is trabeculated, miss. Come back tomorrow after class. But no focal bladder wall lesions are seen. I'm hoping that's good. None of them. Both ureteric. No, you're the teric. Both of them. Both ureteric jets. The ureteric jets. Aren't they headlining Grasspop this year? Both ureteric jets are identified. Okay, so that means they're there, aren't they? They're there. Both of them have been identified. Well, you don't want an unidentified ureteric jet, or do you? A UFJ? 2 for 2, kidney good news. This is good. This is going well. Chadsky, oh no! And there it is. There it is. My monitor's just shut down. Okay, so I'm not going to do anything funky here, but my monitors have just shut down. Is my OBS still working? Okay, so for you guys, it wouldn't have been any different, but okay, my monitor... Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to kill my audio interface. That might be the solution. I killed my audio interface, but my mic should still be working. Okay, interesting. I want to test how hot that dongle is as well. Chadsky, trabculation means the bladder walls have thickened. Too thick makes it hard to expel urine, which sounds like the opposite of your issue. Okay, good. You're still live, but you had some video chop when your monitors died. Okay, interesting. I'm still trying to narrow down why this is doing this. I'm thinking it's the TS3, but I'm not 100% certain. But last night when it happened once in the backup, or the secondary crypto stream, we killed the audio interface and it didn't happen again. So I've killed it again and we'll see what happens. Interesting. So where were we? Yeah, both ureteric jets are identified. The prostate gland is mildly enlarged, measuring 44 gram. Mildly enlarged. Trabeculation occurs from repeated obstructions in the urethra. Oh, okay. So basically that'd be like a backing up of like not being able to, like holding, yeah, no RESPECT in your urethra, Franklin. I see what that means. So my prostate is mildly enlarged at 44 grams. Now that would beg me to find out, and this is what sucks when this happens. I did lose my browser. Where is my browser? Where is my browser? Here's my browser. What is the size of a regular prostate gland? Prostate gland size normal. Prostate gland. What is the normal prostate weight? The prostate is a small gland, oh, there's a pecker, in the male reproductive system. It is situated in front of the rectum, below the bladder, and surrounds the urethra, which is the tube through which urine flows out of the body. The main function of the chestnut-sized prostate is to secrete part of the seminal fluid that combines with sperm to form semen. What is a normal prostate weight? A healthy adult prostate weighs around 20 to 25 grams. Mine's 44 and approximately 4 centimeters wide, 3 centimeters high, and 2 centimeters thick. It's number 7 here in the chart. So what does it say? 20 to 25 skis. So I got 44. So mildly enlarged, right? There was a large initial post-void residual bladder volume of 190 mil. So get that. So my bladder holds 430. I take a slash and I've still got 190 left. Now, using this glass as a measurement, if that is my full bladder, I'm taking a slash. Let's call that 450. I'm taking a slash and I'm leaving over about 200. Probably left about that much. And that was reduced to 114 with a second attempt at voiding. So when I go for a second slash, there's still about that much left in there. Approx. I mean, this is just like trying to put it in like a visual perspective. But the numbers, right? The numbers. Go back to the start. Full bladder, 430 mils. Take a piss. Still got 100 and... Where is it? Still got 190. I couldn't see it. So it starts off at 4/3. Full bladder. Take a piss. Just come back. 190 mils is left over. So you didn't get rid of. You still got a lot in there, right? Even though it felt like I'd got rid of it. It felt like it was done. You go take a second slash. Still got 114 left over. Again, feels like it's empty. So the doctor's comment, or the surgeon's comment, or the Yahoo who did this. I'm trying to find their name. It's a renal ultrasound. Dr. Janet McIntosh. Hello, Janet. Mild prostatic hypertrophy. Mild prostatic hypertrophy with a large post-void residual bladder volume of 114 mils following a second attempt at voiding. Mild prostatic hypertrophy. Let's have a look at prostatic. Go over here. Prostatic. Prostatic hypertrophy. Hypertrophy. You are the wiener. Prostatic hypertrophy. Roughly half of what was there every time you go. Exactly, yeah. Yeah, exactly, Chadsky. Benign prostate hypertrophy. What is benign prostate hypertrophy? Benign? Does it say benign? Mild prostatic, okay. Benign prostate hypertrophy, also called prostate enlargement or BPH. I've seen this term before, BPH. Is a non-cancerous enlargement of the prostate gland that is more common as men age. The prostate enlarges slowly and over time puts increasing pressure on the urethra franklin, R-E-S-P-E-C-T, the tube that runs from the bladder through the prostate to the pecker and the base of the bladder. This is what causes the symptoms. What and where is the prostate? We already know that. What are the symptoms? The symptoms can include inability to completely empty the bladder when peeing, poor flow, for me at the start, urgent need to pee, which can disturb sleep at night, bingo bango, dribbling of urine at the end of peeing. This is true. I get a little bit of dribble action. Not going to deny that. No bladder infections as yet. There are usually no symptoms at the start, even after the prostate has started to enlarge. The first sign of BPH is usually problems with urinating because the enlarged prostate is squeezing and narrowing on urethra. This is because the enlarged prostate is squeezing and narrowing. They just repeated that sentence. Occasionally, BPH interferes with the ability to have nookie, causing impotence. I love a good important nookie. Or painful orgasms. Ow! Wow! My uterus! Wrong stream gives. What causes it? The causes are not clear. BPH is common in older men. I'm 46. Starts after about age 40, and half of men aged over 60 have some symptoms. It's also related to testosterone and runs in families. How's it diagnosed? Blah, 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 blah. How's it treated? Don't need to treat it if the symptoms are mild. You can use some medicines or surgery. Now, this surgery, transurethral resection of the prostate, is when they actually slice it up. But there is a relatively new surgical procedure called resume treatment. Resume treatment or resume treatment. It's been about 5 or 6 years in the States thus far. I was hoping there'd be a diagram here instead of reading it. Okay, so that's the wrong one. Let's have a look at this. This is their website. Okay, that's not. I've found this one before. Where is it? Boston Scientific. I think it's Jaski. J Boston Scientific. This is the website. So the way that Resume works, or Resume, where's that diagram? There was a diagram in here. Jayski, you let me down, man. I thought it was on the Boston. I might have been on the Boston Scientific just because it was funny. I think it might be in the Mayo Clinic. Okay, this is one of these has a great diagram that shows this. Okay, here it is. Actually, do I want to play this? Yeah, I want to play it.
It's a common problem for older men.
What is that?
Benign prostatic hyperplasia, or BPH.
BPH is a fancy way of saying the prostate is getting larger, and when we don't want it to.
Dr. Toby Kohler, a Mayo Clinic urologist, says the enlarged prostate forces the urethra.
Now, I'm going to pause it here because I reckon they'll claim this, and then therefore this stream will get dinged. But what essentially happens here is, we'll use their diagram. This here is the swollen prostate. So this whole thing, this whole entire, can you see my mouse there? Yeah, you can. This whole thing here is the prostate. If you have a hard shell on the outside of the prostate, you may have prostate cancer. If you have a hardening and a swelling of the prostate glands in the center, this thing being the center here, the urethra, straight down the middle, obviously it's not directly in the center, but for the argument, for the diagram, that's how it squeezes together and pushes, and that's why you get this blockage, right? So what this Resume treatment does is they shove this thing up your pecker, straight up your urethra. It's like a knitting needle, I guess. Probably a little smaller than that though. Goes all the way up into the area where your prostate lives. And then they shoot in steam. Water at a high temperature as steam. And the second the steam enters into your prostate, it converts straight back to water vapor because the temperature difference. So in the tube, it's at a particular temperature that maintains steam. And the moment it hits your, I'm going to say bladder, the moment it hits your prostate, bam, it converts back to water vapor. And at that point, there is energy created because of the scientific reaction. It's science, right? This is science. So when that reaction happens, that energy dispelling off actually kills those cells that have swollen, and then within 3 to 4 weeks your body just dissolves them into the system, and you're basically back to normal. So I mean, that sounds rad, right? That sounds super cool. It's relatively non-invasive. Now you probably can get a local anesthetic, and you know, I mean, last time I had something shoved up my pecker was in Canada, and they did an STD check, and they did shove a little. It wasn't fun, by the way. Think about the eye of your penis. They shoved a little thing in there and took a swab, and it only went in about that far, and that was not pleasant. From what I've read about the Resume treatment, or Resume, it's actually very painless. Some people will report going in and not having any problems at all. Very, very few people report having some problems. But ultimately, it's a day procedure. You get a local anesthetic, and you're done. And within 3 weeks, you should see marked results. Now, the big problem is, or the big issue here, this is not under our general public health. So in Australia, we have free healthcare for certain things. It's kind of strange, right? Certain things are free and certain things are not. Things that are considered, I guess, elective and new often don't fall into the general free area. So you need to go to a special surgeon who performs this. There is one guy not far from here up the coast that does this. I had a good chat with their front desk throughout the week, and trying to get a rough ballpark figure of what this would cost. I would assume not much change from $5,000 all told. Unusually, he performs it in a hospital, but the procedure, from what I've read, can be done in anyone's clinic. There's not a lot to it, but I think they just want to have the backup of the hospital's facilities should something go wrong. And I do have a history of, says here, allergies, local anesthetics, hypertension, bradycardia, and faint moderate. So I do have a history of not doing too well. So in a hospital would probably be ideal for me, but therefore you got to pay your hospital cover as well. So when they say Australia must be sick, it's got beautiful, not sick, must be rad because it's got free healthcare. It's free to an extent, right? It's not completely free. Funny side note, the one thing that's not free in Australia with healthcare, ambulance rides. I found that out for a fact when that fainting episode happened. They shoved me into an ambulance, took me to the hospital, and they billed me for it. Two grand? $2,000. Number one, I never asked for an ambulance. Number two, nobody ever told me up front, hey, we're going to put you in an ambulance. This is the first shock that you're fainting. The second shock is in a month when we send you the bill for this. I would have said, I'll get my own way to the hospital. It's my life. I'll do it. I'm not paying $2,000 for you to drive me into town. I'll just drive myself in. Anyway, so if you, heaven forbid, touch wood, get attacked by a shark out here surfing, yeah, you'll get free healthcare. Just getting you to the hospital will cost you another leg, right? If you lose a leg to a shark bite, we'll get you fixed up. We'll give you a prosthetic, but we're gonna pull your other leg off on the way to the hospital in the ambulance fees. Yeah, it's crazy. So here's where we're at, right? We're at this point where I'm clear of any life-threatening or any cancerous, dubious, sketchy situations. I'm clear of all that. I am less concerned about this BPH, the swelling of my prostate, simply because I know it's not anything life-threatening. Can I live with it? I have done for so long. Will I get this resume treatment? Yes. How I plan on doing this is by keeping an eye on it, because often these things do get added to the public health setup with enough talk and media attention and whatnot. Often these things change. This is a pretty common issue in elderly men. I am getting into the elderly man category. And so the longer I live and the older I get, the more likelihood of this becoming something that's available under the general public health system. If not, I will pay for it when I get huge returns in HEX, right? When my HEX stuff, let's just say HEX right now, yeah. And if HEX does what we're all, or if Pulse Chain does what we're hoping for, then I could more than likely cover this within the next 5 to 10 years. If Pulse Chain does everything that we're all expecting it to do, the investment I've got in both Pulse Hex and Ethereum Hex, this is all crypto side note here, but this is how I'll get the money. I will certainly be able to afford this. So as it stands right now, not a real concern. Maybe in say another year, I should go and get further blood tests and further urine samples just to keep an eye on the prostate cancer thing, because that is in the family and things change within the year, that kind of thing. Yo, David, how you doing, man? Hey, gone, buddy. So that's where we're at, and I'm pretty happy about that. Also, once that monitor system stopped working, it hasn't happened again. Maybe I don't have to open my audio interface. Maybe the audio interface is giving me haywire. Don't know. Either way, folks, I want to end this here because I want to go out surfing. The swell is pumping. It's clean. There's no wind. Well, there wasn't an hour ago. I want to get out there and get amongst it. Chadsky, thanks for being here with me, man. It was just you and me for the majority. David's in here now. David, I was just explaining the results here for my ultrasound. I don't want to go and repeat it, but in a nutshell, A-OK. And also, by the way, I'd already assessed this before I had all this crap done, right? I'd already kind of known what this was because I've done Dr. Google. I've been deep in the weeds with Dr. Google. The one thing that concerned me was when Mindy said, if it's a kidney-related issue, if your kidneys are... because kidneys constantly produce urine, right? And if the kidneys don't get access to the bladder for some reason, you could have real issues when your kidneys start backing up and all that crap. So confirm kidneys are all good, all fine. And it's now just a case of waiting until resume treatment becomes, because I don't want to go on drugs. I don't want to go on medication. I've done my research, medication. I don't want to be taking pills for the rest of my life and being drowsy and whatever and all this side effects and crap. I would love the steam treatment. I'm willing to wait. It's not a huge concern. In the time that it takes for that to sort of get to that point, there are like local remedies, herbal remedies. There are ways to mitigate the size of your prostate with certain food groups, which I am doing. So that's where we're at. Yeah. I'm going surfing, folks. That's the plan anyway. By the way, I see 2 downvotes. Can I refresh that? 2 downvotes and 1 upvote? Can we get a few upvotes here, folks, before we quit this stream? I've just given you all the ins and outs of my health concerns, and some tool has downvoted it by 2. So that ain't right. I've been opening up here. I've been talking about my penis, and all I've been done is getting ridiculed. And I went hard in. I put it all out there. I talked about my penis, and you think and all I get is 2 downvotes? Well, hey, to the troll, you win, but my penis is fine. So take that, my friends. I'll see you yahoos over on the D-Live later on. I guess we'll try that process again. We'll kill the audio interface if it does one die, and then we'll see how it goes. See you guys over. Yeah. That made no sense. See you guys later. I'm going surfing. I'm going surfing.